Hello and welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Eric, joined once again with Bevan,
Hey guys.
bringing you some more Footballers' Wives season 4, wrapping it up. Season episodes
Mm.
7 to 9. Tommy will roll the credits and we'll chat. Yeah, the finale. It was a good one. It was a good one. We'll get into that when we get into it, but it's wild.
I sort of, like I said, they sort of build up pretty quickly in these last 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, they kind of had to like continue on with the story. You can never meet somebody normal offline, I guess. That's what we're in
Well, not
2005.
in these shows. Not in these shows particularly.
Yeah, if you ever get here, don't worry, I won't make you marry me and try to kill you.
It's good to know. And have you mentioned completely unprompted?
um, yeah, it was crazy. But anyway,
Yeah.
uh, all right, so let's get into the first one. Episode 7 aired May 12th, 2005. Nan is here. Nan is up, and Shannon.
Man, fuck's sake.
I know it is such a silly story. It's like they didn't know what to do, and they're just like, let's just throw this old lady in the mix and let's just get it, whatever.
Well, it's just like sort of like a light sort of more. So what the story really does is sort of it's supposed to sort of show how like Shannon and Harley are kind of on completely different wavelengths at the moment. So
Yeah,
like, but it does it in an overall humorous way. But like, it's more like just showing that they're in completely different headspaces. Like Shannon's very career focused and stuff like that, which makes her seem a little bit shallow and all that. While Harley is kind of like he's he's in the limelight, and it's like he doesn't always want to live in it.
yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah, definitely.
but they just go about it in a comedic way.
Right, because he's always like, "Ah, Shan, enough of this shit." Like he's just always just like rolling his eyes. I'm like, "Come on." It is fun, but Nan, yeah, I guess she's just throwing a little wrench in here and just doing some crazy shit.
Blaring her like blaring her classical music at like 2 in the goddamn morning, stuff like that. I'd be
Yeah,
pissed off too, honestly.
same for sure. So Shannon kind of puts her to bed. Lucy continues her instant messaging that strange man, who we don't know,
What's his name? Oh my
Giles,
god, I just had it. Giles. Oh my god, I just had his name in my head too. Yeah,
from Buffy the
I'm
Vampire
thinking
Slayer.
Buffett. Yeah, that's where I went, but I was like, I still couldn't get it. By the way, I really need to play Chaos Bleeds again. It's been a long time, and I missed that franchise. Anyway,
Oh, is that Buffy? What is that?
yeah. So like, there's like a Buffy game. So like,
Oh,
there's two. There's two. There's one on Xbox. There's one that was on PS2 and Xbox. But like, I haven't got the Xbox one, but I've got the PS2 one, which is Chaos Bleeds for any fans out there. Um, but it's just like a story that incorporates a lot more from like the show's lore, and it has like the first as sort of one of the main antagonists who's having this like pissing contest with Ethan Rain. And I love the first, and I also love Robin Sachs. Ethan Rain was a pretty great character, even though he's awful. But yeah, that's a completely different show.
Robin Sachs from who played the recast Adam, right?
Adam
See
Carrington, yes,
the reunion.
he did. He did.
So see, keeping it all to the soaps. But anyway, yeah, I was into
I
Buffy.
guess.
I had a Buffy game and I got really far. This is when I stopped gaming. I was into it for a little bit. I liked stuff. Played Buffy until I became Faith, and then I just couldn't kill vampires for some reason, and I was over it. I'm like, I can't.
That sounds like Chaos Bleeds. That sounds like the game. And this is the thing, man. I used to be so goddamn good at that game. I played it, I think, like 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like, how the hell did I ever get good at this? The controls are maddening. But anyway,
Yeah, I understand. I mean,
well,
mine was
I was
20
like, how
something
did I
years
do
ago.
it?
I can't do it. I can play Pac-Man like with the best of them, like stuff like that, but nothing.
Castlevania, even. Like, you can time your jumps. Like, there's a stratagem. Like, even the old Game Boy, Super Nintendo Zeldas, you know, stuff like that. They all have like a stratagem, but like I was like, oh my God, how the hell did I ever get good at this PS2 game with contemporary gameplay mechanics at the time? But yeah,
I don't have the patience for it because like I was even playing Tomb Raider and like you'd have to just keep like you'd get far and then you'd have to go back and get something and then move along and I'm like
gaming
I
gaming's a lot different now, man. Gaming's a lot different now, even from like Buffy era. Like it's basically like movies and very sort of intuitive gameplay stuff. Like the way things are coded and everything like that. It's just all very intuitive. So like you don't have, I don't know, there's a lot of help. So you don't have to have as much precise timing or skill at anything.
right.
Yeah.
So Roger and Seb fight as usual. Seb's
Yeah.
really like putting everything in to like break him and Jackie up. I guess to get revenge on Roger for being a shit dad. I don't know what other reason he would have.
I think that's like all it is like it's like a full blown like hate on for his dad, you know? Like it's
Yeah,
bizarre, but yeah.
it is bizarre because he goes to extremes.
Well, he's
Um,
crazy. I mean, he's a bit crazy, you know.
Bruno prepares for the big game. Nan gives a heart gives a hat to Harley with Charlie on it. Oh, the cameras are still on everything. Shannon still has the cams coming, making some kind of
Yeah.
documentary of their life.
Well, it's for her reality show, dude. So it's for her proposed reality show, and they're like running around filming for the pilot. So it's not like what was it? I think like she's either she's filmed no, I think she's filmed the pilot and she's filming now stuff for a full season. So like the pilot, I'm fairly certain was the stuff that included like Bruno's illegal
Yeah,
hires and all that. And so I think she's gotten like an order or at least something. I can't bloody remember because she did go over it with Harley, and Harley's kind of just like, ugh.
I know he so doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Seb sets Patty up to like color all over Roger's shit. So Roger flips
Yeah.
out when he sees that. I'm like, damn, he just takes every little thing he can get to get Roger. It's crazy. I hope I never want
Mhm.
revenge on somebody that bad. That's so bad. Um, Hazel and Roger fight about Seb. The guys lose the game. They're not doing great. I don't even think they're in the top six at this point, but I know that's
No,
what they're.
it's like so the Hazel and Roger thing is like Roger's stressing out over keeping Seb's like steroid shit secret while also trying to do the lineup for the game. She's just forked out for him and is like, well then why isn't he playing? Essentially, that's insane. You know, Roger can't really tell him because he's like got him essentially in punishment mode, so he doesn't get to play games. Because if he tells the boss, then it's like it just exposes everything. Meanwhile, Seb's like undermining everything all at the same time, you know?
Yeah,
So like the lineup and stuff like that, like it's like what causes that argument with Conrad is like, you know, Roger goes in there and starts like berating everybody and getting the shits. And they were just, you know, Noah was gone. What was it? Noah, I think Darius hadn't come back yet because he does come back.
right.
Um, and what's his face was gone as well. And so like it was just Seb was gone, yeah. And so like it was Conrad mentions that the lineup was like really messed up. It didn't play to their strengths essentially, and like Roger and him like argue where he stupidly and hilariously throws that like I don't know what the hell that was, like a shampoo bottle or something at his face, and then they're all like outrageous. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But let's
Yeah,
move
but
along.
yeah, so yeah, Roger throws that thing at Conrad's face, which is fucked up. Like I was pissed. Um,
It just made me laugh though. I was just like, it's like a shampoo bottle or something, and it just is.
I was peeing myself in the last episode, let me tell you, but I'll talk about it when we get there. Like I said, it's dramatic as it was supposed to be, but it was just some funny things happening.
Oh my
Um,
god, that last episode. It's like I said, it's like, you know, everything's kind of fine for me because it's like a bit of a longer one, like an hour one. It's
Yeah.
like fine, probably average for about 40 minutes of it. It takes a while to actually build up. And then like the last 20 minutes or so are just sort of like, it just escalates and escalates. And it
I
just
still
switches in tone.
it still feels like it went fast. The first two, I get what you mean. Like it was like because it was getting into story, but the last one definitely felt fast for me. I know I saw it was an hour and 10 minutes. I think on my one over here.
Yeah. I think that
Um,
was about what I remember as well. And I was
yeah,
like, oh Jesus, I don't remember this being that long, but yeah.
it didn't feel like
Ah,
it. Um,
yeah. Anyway, keep going.
so Lucy, wait, what? Lucy is trying to be there for Bruno, and this time he seems to accept it. Which of course makes me suspicious because I'm like, this man is always a dick, and now all of a sudden he's not. So I'm like, what's happening? Jackie defends Seb to Roger. Nan gets on Harley's nerves,
Mm.
uh, and with all this dumb shit she's doing. Jackie gets an Amore necklace, which means love, right? As an apology, and she thinks it's from Roger, but it's from Seb. Lucy and Giles meet up finally. He seems fine. He's a doctor at a hospital. Things seem well. They go to a museum. I'm like, all right. He just wants to
Is this
be a
where she
friend.
is this where she does that search on him as well? Because she does do a quick search on him and like calls up his workplace. Is that this part or is that later?
I think it's later because it's after she meets him. I
Okay.
think because that's when I
Okay,
think.
yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember exactly which order that happened in. Actually, it's stupid. I watched what, two of these last night. But
Right,
anyway,
but
um,
he seems all nice and normal, and which
understanding.
we all know, right. Listening to her and whatever. The guys talk about what to do about Roger. That's when they're talking about if Conrad should report him for throwing that thing at him, which I think he does. To Hazel, anyway. Amber is concerned with Lucy and Giles. She's like, you shouldn't trust this. Like, you just met this person. You don't really know much about him. She's like, he's a doctor. It can't be bad. What was
Nobody
she?
who's ever been a doctor could be an evil man,
Yeah, so
especially
Jackie,
in the soaps.
yeah, Jackie goes to Seb and she's like, you got me this necklace. Take it back. It ain't cool. He tells her that he has a date, but he probably doesn't. I don't think they show him with anybody. I guess he's just doing, again, I guess he's just doing everything he can to get back at his dad. It's like there's nothing, like, I don't even know if he really likes Jackie like that. I mean, it seems like he might, but I don't know.
I think it's probably he probably I think there's probably this element where Seb does actually not hate Jackie, but it's more like you're the fodder. You're just fodder.
Yeah, like he's just using her
You're
to get,
fodder. You're you're so regard I will say this is despite Seb's like intro to the series and stuff, he does kind of get better, if that helps. It's really weird to sort of talk about this series because it's like the first four series are like as they are, outside of the little quick quirky bad girls crossover where Tanya yeah, I mean if you're following the show in like like the last few episodes and stuff, like Tanya gets arrested for her cocaine possession at the end of series three, and like the Embers dobbed her in. Well, in between series three and four of Footballers, Tanya goes to prison and she appears in Bad Girls. And so there's that. That's what that little mention was, by the way, at the start of series four, where like Tanya, yeah, she's like, oh, I keep it close nowadays, or this or that. She just makes a comment about it. It's also why when Tanya's sort of found out, she's actually kind of doesn't want to go back because she's pissed people off in prison. So, which is to the surprise of no one. But
I know.
like, yeah,
I need to watch that series. I gotta find it.
I don't think it's quite like Footballers in terms of the melodrama. I've never watched it all, but I just know that the same, I think it was the same writers or the same creators, but I think it's more like supposed to be more of a serious one rather than the sort of uh
Probably like Wentworth.
like, yeah, maybe. I mean, I say maybe only because like I feel like even Aussie dramas we tend to we could have like the most melodramatic shit happen in them, like Stalkers in Home and Away and like all that sort of stuff. But they're not played the same way. They're played like completely legit. Like everybody's reacting how you would suspect someone would like realistically react. Whereas I find that in like soap operas overseas, both American and to a point UK, and also depending on your format, like, you know, I mean, obviously Footballers is not long each season, it's like 8-9 episodes. For instance, the melodrama in American ones is very much a style thing in my opinion. So like even if you look at American daytime, it's like the way you see those actors outside of say Days of Our Lives or Passions or whatever, and they're so convincing or they're very good, and it's just because they're versatile actors. I've always just believed that about, particularly about daytime actors, like daytime TV actors, they are versatile as hell. I think you have to be when you're shooting, was it like freaking like 60, was it either 60 scenes or 60 pages of
Yeah.
script
So
a day or something insane? Like that's just insane. And being able to deliver on those sort of those expressions that and that we all sort of joke about, but they make fresh every freaking time. And it's like imagine being Alison Sweeney and doing that for like 30 years on days. And like that's just it's just always been an impressive feat for me. But yeah.
I'm always impressed with daytime, especially like Deidre Hall has been on since '76, and it's like
With like
it,
what a few breaks here and there, like what you could like, you know, a few break like intermediate breaks where she might have pissed off with John for like 2 years when she's just done like a 7.5 year stint on the show or something like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, like impressive, crazy. But yeah, anyways, back to Footballers.
you know, I always wonder if they feel like they lead like separate lives almost, like
I think
because
it's probably more like you'd have to love what you do, right? Like love the
right,
people you work with,
but
overall
just
love what you do.
think of like how we talk about it, like, oh my God, back in 1978, Samantha, her twin sister, and all that, you know, like talking about them like that is like because it's like their lives, you know what I mean? So it almost feels like they have two lives, but yeah, to them it's probably just like,
Yeah.
oh, work, but to us it's like
Yeah.
they have two lives because they're living a whole character for all these years.
I mean, you are like, I think it's like a thing of like, I mean, I don't think it's like, I think that's a sort of normal attachment type thing between like, a fan and
Yeah.
like the character and the actor. I mean, like we talk about that about like Marlena. I mean, I've talked about, I mean, you know how much I love Robert Scott Wilson. Oh, but yeah, like,
Did you even get
you
to
know,
him yet?
like, beg, beg your pardon?
Did you even get to him on days
No, I've seen him in other stuff as well. But yeah,
yet? All
the
my
horror
children.
movies and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that. Actually, I didn't mind him as PDA, but we're getting sidetracked. But yeah,
We always get sidetracked. Uh,
it is true.
our last
Who
Dallas
wouldn't when we're talking about Robert Scott Wilson, though? So come on.
our last Dallas one, we were all over the map. It was so what I just posted.
Did we get good views on it though? I wonder. Did we?
I don't even know what we were talking about.
Neither do
Lucy,
I. I was like,
so Lucy lies to Bruno. As she
yeah,
looks into Giles, she's like, I was
yeah.
looking whatever for I
Giles
guess
Arrowsmith. That's the name. I remembered finally. Giles Arrowsmith. That's the goddamn name. I remembered it finally.
Conrad goes to Hazel to just to see like he wants to change. He wants something to happen
Mm.
with Roger. Like he doesn't. He just feels like
Yeah, he's
something.
like he's had enough. He's basically going to higher management above Roger because Roger's being Roger is being hard to deal with, to put it mildly. But yeah.
It doesn't work, which I feel like because Roger, I don't know, it pisses me off because I feel like Conrad got nowhere, and I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, but
Um,
as we see, Amber does not help him in this situation. Like, if anything, she's solidified why they decide to do what they do.
I
Which is
still love.
ironic considering, like, at the start of series 3, the complete over effort they went to sort of score his contract. But yeah.
I still love Amber's crazy ass. I don't know why. She's just great.
I told you she goes from being all sympathetic to just being a bitch again, like a crazy bitch again.
I feel like I'd be her best gay friend if we were real life friends. Jackie gets a package, and this time it's a pair of pants that says like your husband left them in my bed or something like that.
Yeah.
So now, of course, we know this probably from Seb, and she thinks that he might have cheated. And he admits that they're his pants. So,
Yeah.
well, he's like, but you can get pants from anywhere. Like, it is what it is.
He
Um,
literally, Roger is, I actually really like the way the actor did it. Like, he is utterly dumbfounded and he doesn't have an explanation. And the way he plays it is completely legitimate. That is exactly how, like, he's like, well, what do you mean? But because he gets defensive, because she's getting angry at him, like she's immediately angry with him and all that, it's just Roger being his usual blowhard self back, and it's just a perfect escalation. Like the chemistry between them I thought was really well done in terms of like, even, I mean, it has been even in their nice times,
yeah.
but like I've always thought the two actors are so great together on screen.
I for sure I like their chemistry too. I feel like I don't know. I guess they needed drama. So, I don't know because I felt like Roger started out pretty decent and now he's like all over the map.
He's a bit all over the map because he's got so more or less, Roger is a hard talking bit of an asshole, but he's an ethical guy.
Right.
So he's sitting there trying to teach his son, who's just come back into his life, like, okay, so if you're going to be in the big leagues, you've got to start owning that. So, and then he finds out that he's on drugs on his
Totally.
team that he's
Yeah.
managed, and Els Park is on the sort of what was it, the World Cup stage. I mean, I'm not saying that all teams aren't like that. I'm not exactly sure how football league rules and
Yeah, I mean,
what how many teams are in versus what they would be domestically, yada yada yada.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So like they're obviously on a world scale, like world stage, or at least have that potential. Like they're a well-known team and all that. So it's just like Roger's an ethical hard ass essentially. Seb's come along and basically, so if you look at the way Seb's come in and kind of like infiltrated his life the way he has, he's come in, compromised Roger's integrity at his work, and is now like actively sort of like trying to sort of make issues up in between Roger and Jackie. You're right. It's in a way it is like, oh, they sort of, oh, did they need drama? Well, no, they didn't, but that's the whole point of this sort of destructive antagonistic character who until like the last episode has kind of not been discovered yet, you know?
Yeah.
So I always look at it as in like, and as we see with Jackie, because of her past, it's like shit. But we see this woman who's actually mournful, regretful, and guilty as hell because she thinks she's done something.
Yeah.
And it's like she doesn't even question that she has because she's done stuff like that before. Not it's these subtle things in this show at times because the show doesn't really have heaps of time to go absolutely over everything that I like about the actors. All the actors tend to create layers and have just in their reactions and the way that you can see them kind of dealing with what they are given.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll go over more of the Jackie Rogers stuff as we cover the episodes, but I was just saying like I think there's a point in Jackie's character development with what happens that she doesn't acknowledge how much she's actually changed. Like she's not this toxic old sort of like toxic old hornbag anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, she's come a long way. I like her character growth. And she's doing what she can. She's trying to keep the peace, but Seb's doing all this shit, so what are you gonna do?
Actively antagonizing and then being passive aggressive about it later, or passive about it, like, oh, Jackie, look what he says to me. And it's like, well, stop being a little asshole. What the fuck?
Harley and Shen surprised Nan with this guy, Lionel Blair, um, who like I did look him up. He plays himself. He's a
Oh my
British.
God. Okay. I didn't know that. I just figured it was like a footballer's wife celebrity, like someone who was in the vein of like, like a fucking Tom Jones or something like that, I
No,
didn't actually realize the guy. I never even bothered to look it up.
yeah, it's a real celebrity. His name's Lionel
Oh,
Blair.
awesome.
He's a British actor, dancer, which is why they danced, and choreographer is what he's known for. He died at 92 years old in 2021.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
wow.
so he was
Nice.
in his 70s, I guess, when he did this, which is pretty crazy.
That's
Um,
crazy, especially with what happens to Nan. But
yeah,
yeah.
And then yeah, they dance, and then she passes out. Does she die? Like that's like
She dies.
so she died.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
why, dude, they literally show her being like the bag over her head as they walk out with the body. Like, what do you mean did she die?
I might have missed it when I was writing because I seen her fall, and they're
Oh,
like,
fair.
get her to the hospital, and then I might have been writing. I don't know.
And
Wow.
Shannon is like hilariously sitting, standing there, hilariously crying.
Yeah. I don't even remember that part.
It was like right. It was like a 3 second shot, and then they sort of go up, and Shannon's like the only one that's sort of bawling her eyes out. It was hilarious. But yeah,
It's so funny because yeah, like once that started, I was like, I wonder where Nan went. Like in the this 2 episodes, they
no,
didn't
she's
talk about
dead.
her.
She died.
Well, I guess yeah, that was her finale then. And then Lucy sees Giles.
Indeed.
Lucy sees Giles at Bruno's bar, and she's kind of like,
Oh
too close.
yeah.
Yeah, like why is he there? Episode 8 aired on May 19th, 2005. It picks up right where we were. Lucy sees Giles, and Bruno tells Giles that he can't come back anymore because I guess he felt like he was flirting with Lucy, even though they,
Bruno got the vibe. Bruno got the vibe immediately,
yeah, he vibed right.
and it's not like he doesn't know his wife. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a controlling dick face, but like he knows his wife's body language and behavior, and this isn't to say that like, oh, if she was talking to anyone, it's like, no, she's talking to Giles, someone that even the audience is aware that she's got some sort of romantic interest in. So like yeah, so like Bruno just picks up on the body language immediately, and of course, not even, I don't even know if you'd call it protect mode with someone like that. It's more of like possess my wife
And
mode. Like, I mean, not that my wife mode is bad when someone's doing that, but like necessarily it's Bruno, so it's not exactly
and Lucy is
uh
being
in
super
a normal way.
she's being super suspicious lately with all the shit she's doing. So I mean,
Yeah.
clearly he's gonna pick up on something.
Yeah.
Um,
He's controlling. He knows all your behavior. You think he's not going to notice when things are different? Like, he's controlling. What do you
right.
mean?
Like, why are
Like,
you getting up at 3 in the morning, getting online, doing your shopping, like stuff like that.
yeah.
Um,
Maybe once here and there, and you can blame insult like a bad night's sleep or something like that. But you can't keep doing it.
and he calls Lucy a cheap tart. Jackie and Roger continue their fight. Seb's kind of just like smirking, like, "Yay, my dad's life is ruined."
Yeah,
Bruno
he's basically in the other room or whatever, listening, doing like the little mustache twirl.
for sure. Bruno's still being a douche. Giles calls Lucy to hang out again. Darius is there, and he goes to Harley for some reason. But Harley ain't having it. He don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah, it's basically Darius. Yeah, Darius comes back, and it's like, what is it? Oh, prior. By the way, there was a mention of Darius since like what happened with Katie and everything. Is that he had that break and he went to like, I guess a mental ward or at least a hospital. This is
Mm,
the return, and he's like trying to sort of with Harley. I feel like it's sort of like this weird sort of like trying to make amends type thing where he's trying to sort of like,
yeah, he's
but
trying.
it's just like it's like, how do you really make amends with someone like Harley when he wasn't the one that you did it to? There's all that sort of stuff. But Darius is just very much in like a that sort of like that sort of sheepish mode
Yeah,
of looking for forgiveness.
very back burner too. Like I don't think he's really on that much. He's just kind of like a
No,
quiet.
it's not. It's not. It's dealt more. Okay, so like the thing about this is post series 4, the stories, some of the stories carry over to introduce the extra time characters, right? So
Mm,
you get a couple of stories from, and the mains will carry over, and I think it's all more or less resolved or done and focused mostly on that show's characters by about episode 6 or 7, something like that. It's about half the series, first season, and but and that would be fine if you look at it like extra times, at least its first season was happening in between 4 and 5 of the original show, especially considering how it picks up. um the timing is kind of weird though, because something that happens at the start of series 5 of Footballers is carried over into Extra Time in a normal crossover way, but there isn't much done in betwixt all that. And it's just like they've dropped things and then they sort of pick up a couple of things a little bit later sometimes. So like
Mm.
where we go with Noah, I mean, obviously we're going to go over that, but that story, I can't directly recall even a mention of Noah in dialogue after all this. I don't know what happened to him. And I don't think you hear about it in Extra Time. So if they were going to do it across that extra time,
Yeah.
um, yeah, because five picks. Okay, so like where it ends, five picks up way after the resolution of that. So if you were to just watch series 4 and then go series 5, you'd get like the recap because there's still like a Tanya Turner recap. It's just not Tanya that time. And you would get sort of like a quick recap of things and a little bit of extra time. But and then it's sort of weird the way it goes around. But the best way, in my opinion, obviously, with just in terms of how Extra Time starts, is to do it directly after series 4 because it resolves the cliffhanger
Right,
and all
right.
that just for that reason alone. But my best thing is to sort of when it comes to the main show series 5 and then like Extra Time series 2,
Mm.
I because of the way the timeline is and the way they sort of do the show and the episode counts are vastly different, I just look at it as all generally around the same time.
Oh,
Whereas season 1 of Extra Time happens between 4 and 5 of the main show. It's just really bizarre.
right.
And while that's all happening, it's weird to say that it's like the show's kind of winding down almost because you've got we for the main show after this we've only got series 5, but we've still got 2 seasons of its spin-off. It's weird. It's a weird show. Like,
It's weird.
yeah, it's a weird structure.
So speaking of Noah, he goes to Conrad and says that he's
Hmm.
engaged. He kind of is engaged.
See,
Hazel.
like it just seems like so unfocused. They don't know what to do with him. It's like one minute he's trying to sort of like pray the gay away. Then he's like getting with this girl. Then he's like having little get-togethers with Conrad. Then he's like self-harming while he's masturbating or some rubbish. And now it's like all lovey-dovey again with this chick. And it's just like, for God's sake.
I know.
Yeah, focus would be nice. It's just even just on a rewatch, like when I've watched this a couple of times this series, so I never really. It's just no, it's a crazy storyline. But like I sort of think to myself, I'm like, oh, it's like they stuck every sort of controversial type of spin they could on his gay story, on his gayness, like its homosexuality, in order to have an angle that worked, but none of it worked really because it just
Mm.
seems like storylines start and don't work when they had the perfect kickoff with the gay bashing, and then they could have just characterized Noah more so outside of his sexuality. It's like, yeah. I mean, people talk about the way writing is now. It's like, oh, woke this, woke that. I feel like this one is version, you know, um, before these terms were coined, this is a character that's entire characterization is entirely about his sexuality. And yes, that's fair in terms of like an identity thing. Personal identity is huge with people, yada yada yada. I get that, but it's just so ham-fisted and half-assed, but
Yeah.
it's also trying to hit you with all the controversy, like self-harm, going to like the gay bathhouses and shit like that. Like it's just all the sort of sleazy and or taboo and or sort of like racy stuff of the time. It just seems like they're
It's
trying.
better.
It's a bit super. Yeah.
It's better than the stuff for Matt from Melrose Place. I mean, he basically just got a different boyfriend every season.
No, that's true. But like, that criticism is a very fair and is common within Melrose Place. Like, while they acknowledge the positive elements of Matt's character being especially one of them. Well, not that you could call anybody in Melrose. Like, okay, this is the way I look at something like Melrose, right?
Right.
Is outside of annoying things like how he just got a boyfriend every time, and it was something stupid like domestic. Not that it's stupid. DV stories are like important to tell. It's just a very classic sort of stereotype thing to immediately go into and stuff like that. But Matt does get those criticisms whilst at the same time people acknowledging things, like that he wasn't all, he was a stable character on the show for nearly 6 years. And so like I think that in of itself is the idea that the character worked for the audience, if not limited by how you could tell a gay story back then. One thing I find with gay stories is like, especially in the past, is that even though they're to a degree relatable, they're always told through the struggle lens or the hypersexualized lens. It is not bad that these stories exist, mind you. It's just kind of annoying that that's all that seems to be out there. So
Yeah.
I always find it, yeah, and Noah in a way is a little bit of that for me, but before it, I guess before like shows became more widely condemned for it, I guess. But it's just, yeah, I just feel like it's a little bit half up, like ham-fisted,
Yeah, yeah.
and unfocused.
But I guess, I mean, he probably signed a contract and then they just have to give him something, right? Just throw it
Oh
in.
no, I get it. It's not, no. I think it's more of just like the idea of the writing at the time, and just like it's not to sit here and say it's so shit, it shouldn't have been done. I don't look at things like that. It's not like that. It's more like it's just an analysis of the story. Like I don't hate that it exists or anything like that. It's
Right.
just like, oh, this story's a little bit shit or unfocused, and like
It is. He's gone
I
through a
mean,
lot
and
in just a few episodes, it feels like.
yeah, and he seems to emotionally switch between scenes, like it's inauthentic. That's what I mean. I don't care. Okay, if we're gonna do a struggle story and it's gonna be a racy one, he's gonna self-harm and masturbate at the same time, fine. But can we be consistent about it? Like, like fuck. Like, I want to see the journey. That's the point. That's what I like about soapies. I don't care how insane it gets.
Yeah.
The character journey is what is important. It is not fun to watch
Yeah.
if a character is going to make the same mistakes over and over, they still have to eventually learn, and everybody else has to be aware that they have to learn. Like, look at Sammy. How many times did they tell that bitch to grow the fuck up on Days of Our Lives before she actually did? And then even then, it took her what, like half a decade, and she just went back to being a bitch anyway. But you know what I mean? Like, she's
Yeah.
gone gross. She's grown up, and then she's regressed. It doesn't matter if they go backwards and forwards. That's character development. You've just got to
Right.
have justifications to make it compelling. Why do we care when JR keeps going from good and evil? Because on the level, we want JR Ewing to be a good guy. We like JR. We want to like JR, but he gives you every reason to not like the bastard.
Right.
Like stuff like
Um,
that. Yeah.
so Hazel and Roger talk, and basically she says we're stuck together because their team's not doing great. So nobody wants her, nobody wants him. And that's when he like is a douchebag to Conrad. I get
Well,
it.
now it's just become like a between them two.
Threw something at him. I feel like he should be like, listen, I'm really sorry about that. Like he wasn't. And I feel like that was kind of a dick move.
No, of course it is. I just, yeah, all I'm saying is now it's like focus. It's more about butting heads with these two
Right.
now.
Lucy and Giles meet up while Jackie talks to Hazel and Amber about the pants, getting the pants in the mail, trusting Roger. Bruno questions Lucy about a deleted number. She's like, it was just the wrong number. I don't know what your problem is. But all these things are adding up to Bruno. He's not stupid, as much of a dickhead as he is.
And there is
Unfortunately,
like no part of that scene where the audience is inclined to think that he even remotely believes her. The way he's staring her down is like both hilarious but really well acted. Like,
yeah. Conrad and Amber talk smack about Roger at the dinner party. This I actually really like.
because
Conrad,
Jackie mentioned, yeah, like something about his dick. Yeah.
well, I guess because, yeah, I guess they weren't really having sex because they've been fighting all the time.
Yeah.
But Conrad and Roger go piss, and Conrad mentions that he can't get it up when he's there, so he gets all mad and he leaves.
Of course,
Br-
causing more tension with Jackie because it's like, you've been talking about us, brother, and he storms out,
yeah, Bruno
which
suggests a
plays into Seb bullshit.
Bruno suggests a baby to Lucy, a little sibling for Angelica. Jackie gets wasted, and Seb pushes more alcohol on her. He's like, drink some more, drink some more. Bruno catches Lucy online. This is where she's shopping. She says again, like it's all this shady shit she's doing. Like she's doing it like right in front of him. Like she ain't being smart about it. Jackie wakes up and sees naked Seb there, and she's like horrified of like what happened. She's blacked out. She don't remember anything. She don't remember whatever
Yeah.
happened, and she kicks him out of the room. Um, Giles and Lucy talk, and he says that he tells her like you're being abused, like you can leave. And this is where like you still think this guy's being pretty decent, like being a decent friend. Everything seems normal. He kind of fooled me because I didn't know where it was going. Once he mentioned the wife, though, I was like, oh, I was like, oh shit.
Here we go.
Roger apologizes with flowers to Jackie, and she seems to kind of accept it. Hazel looks for
That's
Roger.
because she's being guilted, thinking that she's being guilted over what Seb told her. So like she's guilty, accepts it, blah blah blah, and they go to this effort to sort of make up while Seb's like watching in the background, being all.
Hazel looks for Roger. Seb says that he's out with his wife, so she's like, "What the hell?" Because he's supposed to be with the team. Bruno and Lucy talk. He seems to be being a little too nice to her, and he gives her this pink necklace, and everything seems great. And this is exactly what Lucy wants. Hazel sells Conrad to Madrid, so then he has to go there, I guess, next season. Lucy tells Giles as Bruno tracks her on her little necklace thingy that I gave her.
Yeah.
And then we have the finale, which is episode 9, May 26th, which is my nephew's birthday, 2005. He was turning 4 that year.
He doesn't.
Giles,
Damn, I was like 17.
I know. I was
Crazy. Anyway,
20 something. Giles texts Lucy. We had a text on the little flip phone. That he misses her, and she's like, leave me alone. Now she's trying to work things out because Bruno's being a great guy now. So we have this guy, Tim, the dude from the church, goes to Noah. He's like, you're like helping us all. You're gay is not the way, and all this talk. I knew where this was going. This I actually predicted.
He also wants to basically use Noah and the daughter as like the poster children for the success of the program. So it's like he tries to sort of sell it to him as like a celebration of shit, but it's also like, oh, but look at how positive we are. We'll show people that the message is great, and your reach would help. Blah blah blah. It's just that underlying motivation with all those sort of groups, especially in soap operas.
More people will come in and try to.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that. Yeah, it's just that idea of like, oh, conversion therapies aren't abusive, yet this dude is literally like self-harming.
Lucy and Amber talk.
It's just a sick mindset, but yeah.
Lucy and Amber talk. Bruno's great now. Lucy drops the necklace and finds the tracker. Amber tries to overthrow Hazel, which I thought was really funny. Saying that
this whole bit is probably one of my favorite bits of the whole episode. So through just a bit of background is like, so like across the last episode and this one, Amber's sort of been in the background of the sort of Roger Conrad drama because she's heard whispers that they're looking at selling Conrad because they don't want to fire Roger, stuff like that. Like it's, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, and Conrad's just worth more money because of the name and everything. And so she wants to stay in London. Like she wants to stay in England, have her kid raised there, schooled there. She even says this, I think, to Lucy. And, so she starts scheming. And now that she's on the board, she starts trying to undermine Hazel's sort of credibility. And we see her sucking off old men and trying to make deals through like checks and stuff like that. And anyway, that's just obviously that plays out more as the episode goes on, but that's kind of just where we're at with that. Like Amber's in the background, just being a bit of a menace and not helping the situation overall.
She wants to be Hazel, I guess.
Well, yes, she wants that position that Hazel has.
Yeah. She says that she's been drinking too much alcohol. She blows that guy Vince. Yeah. So she's trying, doing whatever she got to do. Lucy confronts Bruno and gets smacked. And she says, I'm
Yeah, he
leaving.
does actually strike her this time. He does.
Yep. And she says, I'm leaving you. And then, of course, he gets Angelica. He's like, well, you ain't leaving with her. And there we go.
He
Which,
does like, yeah, it's like a very well acted sort of power play moment. So as Lucy's packing, she goes down for Angelica, and Bruno's got Angelica on his lap. And he's like, oh, mum's going on a trip, and he sort of like puts it across like that. And it's all very passively threatening and controlling. I mean, I mean, it's not uncommon. Those particular situations aren't, maybe those circumstances exactly, but like children being used as pawns and or leverage is not uncommon in these situations. And Bruno absolutely does that here.
and he says that he'll say that she abused Angelica if she tries anything. Seb is staying with Jackie and Roger. Hazel brings this girl Jules around. Does she hang around? Where'd she come from?
So the way this episode ends, dude, Hazel leaves. She leaves with this girl. Yeah, so like Bruno's sitting there having a little party because he's all proud of his guns. I'm pretty sure they're on Bruno and Lucy's property.
Okay. I didn't know where they were.
Like just well, it's just like Lucy and Bruno have like a lot of land around their house, and I'm pretty sure they're just on his property shooting because he's got all those like guns.
Okay.
And so he's just brought everybody over for a shoot and like a hangout, essentially. I get, their hangouts are like ritzy as hell, man. Come on. Look at where they
Yeah.
lunch.
I never know what they're doing or where they're at. Like, what is this? There's always a party or something going on. So Lucy tells Amber something. She comes up with some kind of plan, which we don't know. They don't tell the audience at this point. Noah and Bethany are there. She's showing off her ring because they're engaged. Lucy says she gets sick or something and she doesn't feel good, so she like leaves. Bruno kind of is just like, something's going. Like I don't know if he's like
Yeah.
suspicious, but
I think it's more like he's a bit sus on it, but he can't really leave the guests, and that's why Lucy's done it.
Shannon shoots the skeet thing and she gets hurt. Her
Yeah, so
injury
like
cracked me up.
it's the recoil. Yeah, it's the recoil on the barrel on the gun. It just she doesn't, what is it? Her support. She didn't support it properly or whatever, and it basically hits her back in the boob.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, that happened to Lucy before." Like Bruno said something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess they don't make much of it at the time. I knew it was going to come
Well,
with some.
of course, but like even there's a bit later where she walks away. She's like, "They're indestructible" type thing, and she's making jokes. But then I think by later in the day, she's got that big feral bruise around the
Yeah.
top.
Seb corners Jackie. Just kind of talks smack. Again, I don't get what he's like. I get it, like these, like I don't know why he's doing that to Jackie. Like, is it just to get to Roger still? Like, I don't know. Amber gets Angelica, brings her to Lucy, so I guess they that was part of the plan. Shannon offers to be Bethany's maid of honor. Bethany is like, yeah, sure, why not? Lucy goes to Giles for help. Bruno can't track Lucy because I think he put something in Angelica's toy, right?
Yeah, so Angelica, I think, has a ring or a necklace as well. He gave one. So when he gave Lucy that necklace, he also had one for Angelica made, and so there's a tracker in both of them. And Lucy obviously knows that and picks them out and squishes them.
Bethany flips on Noah. She's just like, you just want a hot male ass or something like that. Because he's been
It's
acting.
because Noah keeps resisting sex. He wants to wait till marriage, but she knows what it is, and she's like, "Oh, you want some dude with a tight ass who doesn't give a shit about love?" And I'm like, "Girl, love, you've been trying to jump this man's bones for like episodes now."
Bruno goes to Conrad and Amber about Lucy. She denies knowing anything. Giles and Lucy bang. And he has like these images in his head of his like wife. So then you know shit's gonna get crazy. Roger's leaving town for a little bit. He's like, of course Seb can take care of you, Jackie. Giles' wife apparently looks similar to Lucy, just she sees in a picture, and then he's like, "I want you to wear her clothes," and he calls her Magda, and she's like, "What is happening?" It's like, "I'm Lucy."
Yeah, he has like a full-blown slip and even says like Angelica's the baby that you had in heaven. You brought her back with you. Like he's reconciled all the shit and he's just had like a full-blown break. While Bruno is and Conrad, because Bruno goes to Conrad to ask for help, is running around looking for her. Amber goes to his hospital to find out. They find out that Giles hasn't been working at the hospital for like over a year because it's roughly, I think it is, yeah, it'd be like roughly a year or so. He even said to Lucy where his wife died, yada yada yada.
Lucy wears the wedding dress. I think she goes to make a phone call, but the phone's disconnected. Jackie tells Roger. Uh,
Everything.
yeah, she tells Roger everything.
Roger then kind of confronts Seb and just goes for him. He doesn't even really question Jackie's integrity. He just sees Seb as taking advantage of his wife in a really vulnerable moment and more or less tells him as such. Seb is being gross and he's like, oh, she's gagging for it. And he's just like, don't you say that. Jackie's a good woman, and all that. And just basically throws the little asshole out.
Yeah, I like that. That like he was actually
Yeah.
supporting Jackie because I feel like that could have been a thing.
I
But yeah,
think that what I liked is that there's, even though a lot of it seems, a lot of the plot lines do work typically, there is this element where the characters do. I often wonder maybe even if the actor was like, how about we do it like this? Because I don't know, or maybe it was a change, or maybe the writers decided not to because they like the chemistry or whatever, but they didn't actually break them up over it. Instead, all his bullshit actually kind of does is bring them back together.
Shannon has chest pain.
Ah,
Roger go-
yes.
Roger goes off on Seb, kicks him out. And then he kind of threatens like, "Hey, I'll tell the team you had steroids or whatever." Harley meets with Katie. I was surprised to see her back.
Told you it
She
wasn't done.
basically says that she has feelings for him. Meanwhile, Shannon passes out.
Like fully
Katie,
passes out, like collapses in front of everyone.
yeah, Katie kisses Harley, Giles, and Lucy marry.
Yeah, so there's a bizarre scene where Giles and Lucy are having their wedding in his little lounge room filmed, and all the guests are like on like little sticks and they're all cutouts of his face,
So
while Angelica is like throwing confetti around.
that's what made me pee myself laughing. Angelica, she's like, "Yay!" and she's just throwing. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is nuts." So Hazel has a meeting with, I guess, whoever
Oh, it
these.
should really quickly. It should be noted here that he's drugged Lucy by this point because she's tried to escape.
Oh yeah, true.
And he has like drugged her. So yeah, she's not just letting this all happen. But yeah,
Hazel has a meeting with the people, and
oh,
she
the
says
board, yes.
she's gonna go teach tennis or something. Going to tennis.
She's going back into sports. She's going back into managing, specifically pro tennis, which is a job that girlfriend that she introduced everybody to, who's a pro tennis. So she's just going to go manage her girlfriend.
I'm disappointed that she's leaving.
Yeah, I was too.
She kind of squashes Amber's hopes and dreams, and she sold her shares. Yeah, that's when I thought Tanya was going to show up, but it didn't happen.
Well, they absolutely like red herring that shit. They make you think that, but yeah, and because it would have made perfect sense considering Amber hates Tanya.
So we find out at the hospital that Shannon has a blood vessel ruptured in her boob. And that is
Yeah,
the reason she passed out. So she had to get an emergency surgery to get her things out.
yeah, her implants
Her,
taken out.
yeah. Noah goes to a bathhouse and sees Tim and this other man were making out. He's like, Tim, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew something like that was gonna happen. As soon as I saw Tim in that episode and he said that to him, I just sensed something like that. I didn't know it was gonna be a bathhouse though. I did not think of that, but I figured he'd catch
Why
on
wouldn't
doing.
it be?
So what's his name? Harley goes to Shannon and he's like, I don't care about your boobs. Do I care about? She's like devastated because she probably won't get implants for a while because of the operation that she had. It takes time to heal.
It's more about how she cares about him. A lot of this part. So this is a bit of a scene that even though it Shannon is coming off a little self-centered, it's more about like just how much they made her identity, like her sense of identity, more complete.
Yeah.
You know, like she sort of acts like her life is over now because she's had to remove her breast implants. Like there's no long-term health consequences. She just there would have been if they stayed. So they had to remove them. It wasn't like a case of like, you
Yeah.
know, like of any type of, yeah, it's like this will happen or this will happen. She didn't have to, it wasn't like she doesn't have any extra things to worry about. And I think that's important to note because then it sort of enhances this idea of what they mean for her. So it's not handled quite as well or as articulately as say Miss Ellie's mastectomy storyline in Dallas, which is still a favorite of mine. But it is Shannon's little moment there, in terms of like that femininity, how much the implants sort of boosted that for her. And
Right.
and
Yeah.
in a way, Harley just doesn't get that either. And it doesn't make, and so even though Shannon comes off selfish, I like this scene because it further reiterates without the comedy from earlier with Nan, that these two guy people are kind of just on completely different mindsets.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's when she came to town. She just wanted to get like totally redone. Like she didn't have like confidence in
She does
herself as a
love Harley. She came for him as well. Like I think they even said like there was always plans for her to like follow him down once he had a place and everything. But it's more
right.
like they're the high school sweethearts, you know?
But that's what I like. She just, I guess, didn't have the confidence in herself before. So when she came to town,
Mm.
that's why she changed on her look. She got the lips. She did all the things.
And she got
Uh,
all the deals and like the magazine covers, and she sees her tits as the beginnings of all that, like all that self. Well, maybe not all of it, but a big portion of her self worth. And so she's crushed. Like
which is
she's
why
absolutely Devo, you know?
she's
And
all
Harley
about
doesn't get it. Harley's
right.
sitting there saying, I'm supporting you. Why are you so upset? Well, not why are you so upset, but like he doesn't get it. And it's
Yeah,
just, yeah. And I don't even think that either of them are bad, even though Shannon gets angry at him. It's not really at him. It's more about her situation and that she's not being understood. But it's like Harley also needs understanding, Shannon. He's been helping you this whole time. You know, it's
yeah,
that thing. And I actually just think it's a really good scene of two people who are just hitting brick walls with each other without it being openly abusive or toxic or something like that, which is, you know, obviously the general nature of soap operas. They all have crazy relationships. That's its bread and butter. It's not a criticism. It's just also nice to see the opposite as well,
yeah.
especially in a lunatic show like this one. I mean, look what's happening with Lucy. Jesus.
I know. So Seb ended up taking pictures of him and Jackie when she was out cold. Of him like
And
nude on
gives them
top
to the
of,
tabloids.
yep, and sells it to the tabloids. Tanya's heading back, I think, because we see the red herring of her at the airport. So
At this
yeah,
point, it's just a cameo, dude. At this point, it's just a cameo.
right.
She does
Well,
come back, but this is just a cameo.
right. But and then she had like somebody's ashes that she left with the lady at the airport. So
Her third husband. Yeah.
she already done had him and killed him off after being gone for 3 episodes. Styles basically is planning Lucy's demise because he didn't die in the crash that she was in. So I think he wants to kill
Oh,
them in
that Magda was in. Yeah, so like it's like he was the one driving, Magda died, he didn't. So it's this
right.
way of him like reenacting so they can all go to heaven together. He's a fucking lunatic. And
Yeah.
the whole thing is to sit in the garage and gas yourself. So like he's drugged Lucy, he's got like Angelica in the boot in the back seat, and he's like got them all shut in and got the gas on, you know?
Well, at first, I thought he was gonna go, like he was gonna drive off because she then begged and she's like, "Oh, please, don't do it that way." He's like, "Oh well, I got another way."
And while this is occurring, obviously we have Conrad and
Um,
Bruno running around looking for them.
Conrad and Bruno are at, I guess, his old house. I don't know where they were.
Yeah, so like through the address, I think through the address at the hospital, they track him to his last known address, but they go and there's old birds there. And it's basically he moved out over a year ago. So Giles sold that. It's an old address, essentially. They went to the wrong place.
So yeah, they're
Um,
around the
yeah,
end.
Conrad's sort of telling Bruno, I'll handle this because you're too worked up. I'll go talk and we'll sort it out from there, you know? And yeah, so that's happening. Bruno doesn't listen and pulls out one of his little skeet guns, or his little rifle thing, and runs around the back.
And when he says, like, I forget what he says to the guy or who he thinks is the person,
Yeah, so like there's
he
a
shoots.
smashed glass. Conrad runs in because it's an old lady's house. And, you know, Bruno's there shouting out like warnings to Giles saying, you know, there's nowhere to run and all that.
And then Bruno shoots Conrad,
He
which
does. They step into the hallway kind of at the same time, and Bruno reacts and just buss and shoots
um,
him against the wall.
I can't believe it. I was like, what?
And
Uh,
then the closing shot of that is Conrad on the floor, and then it switches to Lucy while she's still sort of like and all that. And you know, and gas and like the smoke coming out from under the garage door before it flashes to the credits.
that is so shitty to put that on a different series. That is so shitty.
Well, I think it had to do with when it premiered as well. You might be able to correlate that, like, you know, see that more when we get to it. But I think Extra Time did actually premiere in between them. So like when Footballers' Wives ended, they were like, "Oh, we've got this show," and it was like they just followed on. They don't do every plot line from the main show, but they do like two or three of them.
Right, and I get that, but at the same time, like for like if I specifically liked Footballers' Wives, I did not want to go to another show. Like I feel like for a box set of a DVD or something, that they should wrap up that storyline with those episodes of Extra Time on that box set. Do you know what I mean? Because it's
I
if it's
do know what you mean, but nobody cared that much about the release. I don't think like it was popular enough to get a DVD release. I don't know if it was popular enough to get like added special features. You know,
I don't think that, but it's also um I don't know. It's just dick that they did that. Like I don't
I
know.
still think that I still think that you'll enjoy Extra Time. They
I'm
are
sure I
shorter, was it? I think, like I said, shorter episodes, longer seasons, sort of to a degree. So it's like season one, I'm pretty sure is 12, and then season two is 18.
so
But
yeah.
we're left with Conrad shot on the floor and Bruno like looking like a deer caught in the headlights. Lucy and her kid are like slowly being poisoned to death by a lunatic. And yeah, poor
Yeah.
old Hazel is left. I didn't want Hazel to leave, but she did.
Yeah, I'm curious to know
And then
how season five's gonna be.
I like series five. You could argue, I would say that the start of series five is not slow, but it's a different sort of story. What I will say is that it's probably the craziest Amber ever gets. Like,
Good.
and I'm like that. I think that's like when I say that, you know, you think of all the things Amber's already done in the 2 years that she's been on the show. You know,
Right.
like so it's crazy. It's crazy.
Good, because I love
Um,
it.
and then of course the return of Tanya Turner.
So I wonder where she's going if she's not coming back. Where
So
where
I think it was mainly like a red herring cameo type thing for the end of the season because she was in earlier season four, you know, and because she was like a staple of the series. They reused that same clip to re-intro her mid-season five. Yeah, it's just I think something that they must have rethought because I don't think that the initial plan was to bring the actor back, but then they ended up doing so about mid-season five.
I'll have to look it up. All right, yeah, well, it was a good season. I like it. I can't believe we're almost done. We only have one more season to go of that.
Well, technically, I because of the way Extra Time is, I'd say I just lump it all together. There's still 3 seasons to go.
Right. Well, one season of footballers.
Extra. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. No, and like I said, I told you, like you know, the show's good in the early years, but it's a little bit lackluster almost compared to the way it goes.
Yeah.
Series three and four, like it just has consistently been like pretty crazy from three onwards. You know.
Yeah, definitely got batshit. So anyway, I look forward to more. I will watch more in the future. We'll wrap her up eventually.
Although the next Footballers' Wives will be extra time though, just so it's consistent with chronology, and because it's also the first time like you particularly are seeing it all. So
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us with Footballers Wives Season 4. And until next time, have a good one. Follow us on all the socials, and we'll see you later. Bye.
bye.